And that's lights out. The second episode of Family First is underway. Welcome back to Family First. Appreciate you guys being here again. Once again, I'm Matt.
I'm Bradley.
I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Jamie.
So last week, Australia.
Yes.
What an exciting, frustrating, intriguing week of Formula One qualifying.
I said it was going to be exciting.
You did say it was going to be exciting. You said it was going to be fun and fast.
And it was.
It was both of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even really know where to begin.
Qualifying. Let's start
yeah,
there.
we did. Yeah, qualifying. Max.
Oh, my God.
What?
I
know what happened, but I want to say, what happened?
I know. Well, in the second I saw it, I was like, that's Max.
That's Max. You're not the only one that everyone was like, that's Verstappen. That's Max. Oh, my goodness.
How did this happen?
How did this happen?
He's the best driver.
I agree with
Not
you.
really.
I agree with you. So there was an electrical issue with the recharge system on the battery. When they hit the brakes, that recharges the batteries, and there was some sort of electrical failure on turn one that caused his rear axle to lock up. And I'm sure if you're watching this, then you watched the race, or I'm sorry, the qualifying, and he went careening off into the gravel trap, and that was the end of his day. Qualified P20 somehow, even with all that, but did well in the race.
Well, yes, he did
comparatively
great.
Speaking.
Came from P20 to P6.
To P6, right?
So actually, when he wrecked, I'm sure everyone's thoughts were, oh man, it's over, right?
Not for Max.
But never.
Never.
But also because of his climb and also being voted driver of the day, he wound up scoring the most fantasy points.
The most
of
fantasy
any
points.
Driver, even though he had the wreck in qualifying.
Yep.
So,
thankfully, I thought my fantasy week was over.
Right.
And it turned out it was actually great for those of you if you took Max Verstappen on your fantasy team. Well done. Some others didn't have quite as good of a week.
Yeah, or not as good as was expected initially.
Right. So what else was surprising or interesting, exciting in qualifying? George Russell, pole.
Mm-hmm.
Kimi Antonelli, P2.
Yeah, which, I mean, that was
we
kind
said
of
that.
expected out of
Mercedes,
right? It was either them or Ferrari were kind of the favored for this one, I think.
Right.
And they were the top four,
Top
right?
four, I believe.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
But one thing I learned from you, which I didn't know, which was nice to have this new information to watch qualifying in the race.
It was helpful.
TCAM.
The TCAM, right, on top of the car.
So, I mean, the part that I know about it that I never knew is the driver from each team has a different color.
Right. It's going to be black or yellow.
Right.
On top of the car.
Yes. And so it can help you identify during the race which driver you're looking at.
So many times last season, watching the race or the qualifying for that matter, and they're going so fast, I can't see the helmet or I can't see the number on the car because it's too small. Who is that? I know it's a Ferrari. I know it's a Williams. I know it's a Haas, whatever it happens to be. Which driver is that? Well, now, this has been a thing for some time, but brand new to us.
Right.
Now, with the T-Cam, you can look and see, is it yellow or black? And the T-Cam serves a purpose besides just that. There's all kinds of camera equipment, forward and rear-facing camera and telemetry equipment and broadcast equipment for the TV broadcast and so on. They get a lot of data from the computer systems and transmitters inside the T-Cam. But for us, as the viewer, our favorite part about that is one of them is going to be yellow and one of them is going to be black.
Right.
So typically, your first seat or number one driver on the team is going to have the black T-Cam and your number two driver is going to have the yellow. That's not consistent across the board, though. Some of them, like Lewis and Lando, took the yellow T-Cam to match their yellow helmets. Right. Also, I think Racing Bulls went the opposite way with that, and Lindblad has the black
I believe so, yes.
T-Cam, and Lawson has the yellow. So I learned that relatively recently, and that was great. So now I don't need to try to find the helmet or the number on the car. That's a yellow T-cam on Ferrari. I know that's Lewis.
Right.
That's a black T-cam on Red Bull. I know that's Max.
Mm-hmm.
Is the T-cam a new thing?
No, it's not a new thing, but it's new to us. So when I learned about that, it was this aha moment, right? And so I thought to myself, how many other people had no idea
For
that that
sure.
was a thing?
Yeah.
So especially new, if I had to guess, American Formula One viewers.
Mm-hmm.
So you're welcome.
Useful information.
Useful information, right? So qualifying, other than Max, not too many surprises necessarily.
No.
Lindblad
Yeah.
qualifying in the top 10.
Yeah, he qualified 9, right? Was his qualifying
9,
position?
yeah, I think he was just beat out by Lawson.
Mm-hmm.
So the rookie,
Yeah.
the only rookie qualifying in the top 10.
He did great.
He did fantastic. I'm a Lindblad fan.
I am too.
I'm in
Yeah.
on this guy. I'm excited to see his career. He's 18 years old,
Mm-hmm.
right? So young, and running with the big dogs.
Yes.
So I'm excited to watch his career.
But aren't some of them like 19 and like 20 only?
Right. I mean,
Yes.
none of them are.
Yes. The average
Really old.
age of a Formula One driver is pretty low. Kimmy's 19. But it's just amazing for someone so young and so inexperienced, really, in Formula
Mhm.
One specifically, to have such a great weekend.
Yes.
Did he win?
He did not win, but he
No.
did qualify in the top 10, which
Mhm.
means he's I think he's the third youngest rookie to score points. Max was the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kimmy was up there. I was reading this very recently. Kimmy maybe was number 2 and Lindblad number 3. If I'm incorrect, feel free to comment and let me know where I messed this up. But I'm pretty sure he's in the top 3 or 4
Right.
youngest drivers.
Mhm.
And they're going down to days, right? Like
Right. I saw that.
they're so close.
Yeah.
He's 18 years, this many
And how
months,
many-
and so
right.
many days.
Yep.
So amazing job by Arvid Lindblad.
Yeah. Well, and especially in the actual race.
Yes,
That's when it really
absolutely.
took off.
So he was at the top of the field in qualifying,
Mhm.
right? And made his way to the point where he was, well, I guess eventually battling with Max as he made his way up from P20, but
Mhm.
finished 8? P8?
I thought it was 7.
I want to say it was P8. Let's find out. We want to have this one accurately. Lindblad finished P8.
Okay. All right. I think at one point it was 7 because I remember thinking overall he had a 2-position gain.
Right.
But at one point, I mean, he was like 3rd, wasn't he? Didn't he get up to top 3 for a minute?
Well, so Hajar. Oh,
First took
Hajar.
off. First took off.
Hajar. We kind of missed Hajar
Right.
in the qualifying. First year with Red Bull,
Mm-hmm.
qualifies P3.
Yeah, he was 3rd, so it wasn't Ferrari.
It wasn't
3,
Ferrari.
4.
That's correct.
That's right.
Right.
Hajar was up there.
Hajar 3. Max obviously back because
Mhm.
of his wreck. I'm sitting here saying we still have a Red Bull in the points,
Right.
right?
Yes.
And then
Second seat's doing something.
the cursed Red Bull second seat finally doing something.
Mhm.
So I remember Max is making his way through the field, gets back to P10, and I said to you, "This is great. We finally have 2 Red Bull cars in the points." And no sooner did I say that
Yeah.
than Hajar's car.
Crash.
He didn't
He
crash.
didn't crash, no.
The engine,
Oh.
Yep.
engine quit on him. Yeah.
Yep.
Basically a crash.
Yeah.
It
Instead
was
of
not
just
basically a crash. It was just the engine quitting.
instead of crashing and burning, he just burned.
Yeah.
The motor, the power unit quit on him. I don't even know the specifics of what happened with him,
Mm-mm.
but
But also, like, we need to back up a minute too, because the start of the race, okay, and I'm not even talking about Leclerc coming up quick and getting the jump. The lights. What was with the lights? It was
flickered.
so fast. That 5th light came on so fast and went out so fast. It was
Yes.
almost like a glitch.
It was like
right?
a glitch. It almost seemed as though it didn't actually come on all the way.
Right.
And
It
then
was
went out so
that
quickly.
fast. And the interview after the race,
Leclerc.
Leclerc saying that
Yeah.
the person in charge of the lights was being a little cheeky.
Cheeky,
I mean,
right.
he's dead right on that.
He's dead right. Yeah.
That was unbelievable, especially because they're already having to do like a pre-warm up on these new cars before the lights start.
Right, with the blue lights.
And so knowing that for these drivers to then have it start that quickly, definitely cheeky.
Definitely cheeky, right? Yeah, not expecting the light to come on and go out so quickly. If you want to see consistent red lights, watch the intro to Family First. That's how the red lights are supposed to go on
Right.
and come out.
Unless we short circuit too.
We might.
And that could happen.
Hey, I'm no stranger to technology issues for sure. Speaking of issues in the race, Piastri, Bradley,
Oh man.
you're the McLaren fan of the family. What?
I am too.
You're a McLaren fan
No,
now?
so I like the pink team, but that's because it's pink. But if not based off of if it's pink or not, I like the McLaren team.
Okay. Well, Bradley, what's your thoughts? Piastri on his home circuit.
Oh, I know.
Heartbreaking. Go ahead.
So that's probably got to be really disappointing for him because, I mean, it's not like some other countries that have multiple races in them that he has multiple chances. I
Sure.
think Albert Park's like the only one in Australia. So he'll have
It's
to,
the only one for Formula One. That's
Mhm.
correct.
yeah. So he'll have to wait a whole nother year to try to get first in his home country.
Or even to finish the race in the points.
Right.
Right? He didn't start the race at all.
Right.
I was very disappointed, and I'm sure all the Oscar fans in Australia were disappointed.
For sure. For sure. He
Well, and I
qualified
didn't
well. He
Right.
qualified well.
Mm-hmm.
And on a reconnaissance lap prior to the race start.
Right. Well, and I didn't even realize it had happened. So, we watched qualifying
Yep.
and then we finally sit down to watch the race and it's, well, what happened? What do you mean he's not in the race? Why
Right.
isn't he out there?
Right.
And
We sit down to watch the race really the next morning, our time in the United States, because it was, I think the race was 11 p.m. Too late for us. So we used our Apple TV subscription and watched F1 TV the next morning, and we did everything we could to stay off of social media,
Yes.
anything we could do, any spoilers, right?
So
Don't look at your
difficult, all
phone.
these pop-ups.
Right, yes. Yeah, the nice thing about the Formula One app
They give
is
you the warning.
yes, you can
Yeah.
turn on the spoiler protection or whatever it happens to be. So we're turning on the race, and it's going through the grid, right? You have this person in this position, and then there's the space in P6
Yes.
where Piastri would have been. We're like, what?
Right.
Now, like, okay, where's my phone? What happened? What happened? Crashed the car on a reconnaissance lap in his home circuit.
Yep. Well, and Hulkenberg started from the pit too, right?
Hulkenberg, did he start from the
I think
pit?
he did.
I think he was gonna start from the pit, but then he just never made it out onto the track.
No, he did. He did.
Oh, he did?
Carlos Sainz. He didn't start the race. He was the other DNS.
Yep.
It was Piastri and Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
What about my pink team?
So Alpine, both drivers started and finished the race.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that going for you.
Oh, and actually, Colapinto, he avoided a major collision at the very start of the race.
Absolutely. The reaction
Because
time.
Lawson, I don't know if it was reaction time or something happened with the car or whatever was going
Right.
on, but it's like he wasn't moving. The lights went out and he wasn't moving.
Liam
And-
Lawson wasn't moving.
Yeah. So
Right.
as I'm trying to recover from this quick lights out, did that really even light up? Was it a glitch? What just happened? And watching all the action of Leclerc shooting past, the front two cars. Then out of the corner of my eye, I see there's almost a collision into the wall because
At the grid.
Colapinto
At the start, right?
like narrowly misses Lawson, swerves around him. I don't know how he caught it that quick, but
Right.
man,
Yeah, the reaction time of the Formula One drivers is unmatched, and Colapinto was able to
well, and
swerve out
I don't
of the
know if
way.
you saw the replay. The replay's even worse because
yeah.
then you see the other car coming up, and it's like, man, that was like a tiny little gap that he squeezed between.
So close.
It's like how much of that was just pure luck.
So close, yeah.
So what you're saying is my pink team's drivers are better than Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely not.
Because they all crashed and burned.
I mean,
my team, however.
Gasly got a point.
Gasly did get a point. He finished P10. That's right. So your one of your drivers on the pink team did score more points than a McLaren driver.
Right.
That's for sure. And a Red Bull driver, for that matter.
That's right. With
Hadjar.
Hadjar being out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hadjar looks great.
Yes.
Lindblad looks great.
Yes.
I'm so thrilled to see this.
Mercedes, of course, was.
Mercedes, we expected, right?
But that was expected. Ferrari was looking really good, but
Once
they
again,
still mess up with the strategy.
The race,
Like I had
yes.
said, it's
And-
one of the reasons I just can't go with them as a constructor
sure.
because every race it seems like there's something.
That was supposed to be
When-
their good track.
When
That's right.
the
You told us
virtual
that in
safety
your
car, right?
in your
exactly.
information segment last
Segment.
week. That's right.
When the virtual safety car came out and they did not pit
Why
at
didn't
least
they
one
pit?
of them, like why? Why
Did
would
we
you
not learn from McLaren last season?
Yeah,
You
and
pit.
that's what lost it for them.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I know there's other viewpoints of, well,
Sure.
even if they had pitted, it still would have played out this way.
Yeah, it's they
You know.
asked Leclerc, "Do you think had you pitted, would you have won?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said no.
Okay. Well,
He said, "I think Mercedes is too quick right now."
right. Well,
I
and he's the
agree.
one driving the car, and honestly, that is probably true.
Sure.
And I'm starting to think that this compression ratio thing might really be the reason.
Is it going to come back to bite him?
Well, so, since it has to be, it's going to go under the hot testing starting in June.
Okay.
Where they have to be that 16-1 even when it's hot, not just under ambient temperatures.
Right.
And so I have a feeling that they're going to have this really good streak up until June. And when they have to make the adjustments, playing field's going to be leveled a little bit. And there might be a little comeback, and it might be a little like McLaren Max situation from last year playing into 2026. Which teams will be involved? I don't know. A
Right.
little too early to tell, but
Too early to tell.
I
It's
think
March.
that I think we're going to have, half the year, close to half the year where Mercedes is really pulling ahead, and then
Yeah.
we might have a comeback, and maybe it will be Ferrari at that point.
Maybe.
Because,
Stay tuned.
yeah. we'll
It's
have to see.
way too late for a spoiler alert, but who won the race?
Who won the race?
Yes.
Do you know who won the race?
No.
Bradley, who won the race?
George Russell.
George Russell won the race.
And so who did you say was going to win? What was your prediction last
My
week?
prediction last week was Max.
Okay.
And honestly, I think there was a chance. Obviously, Mercedes was super quick, even Ferrari. Okay, Max starting in P20, making it up to P6. I think last year with DRS, Max has a chance to make it to the front. Win, I don't know. Podium, yeah, I think that's realistic. With the new rules this year, and I can't tell you how many people have stopped me over the past 5 days, 6 days, to tell me they don't like the new rules.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like the new regulations because in 2025, if you were chasing down your opponent in front of you, you're in the DRS zone, you open up your DRS, you get that extra little bit, right, to
Mhm.
get past the guy in front of you. Now, with the active aerodynamics, if you're in straight mode,
Right.
both cars
Mhm.
get to open up their active aerodynamics.
Right.
And so it comes down to a battery management
Yes.
race
Yes.
at that point. And Max was able to get by most of the drivers
Mm-hmm.
until he got to Lando, who is now a world champion,
Mm-hmm.
drives for one of the big four,
Mm-hmm.
right?
They're
Very
using
talented.
a Mercedes engine right
They
now.
are
too,
using a Mercedes power unit. That's correct. They don't have the same specs as Mercedes.
Right. No.
Isn't that cheating? Like they're using another team's engine.
No,
No,
they
a
bought
lot
it
of
from
teams do
them.
that,
So
yeah.
that's legal.
Money.
But he is obviously very good at, he being Lando, is obviously very good at battery management and was
Mhm.
able to hold off Max
Right.
and not let him by.
Right.
And at one point it was like, okay, he's within the overtake button
Mhm.
range, right? Come on, let's go. Never happened. Next
Mhm.
thing you know, Max has fallen back. So he finishes P6 and Lando's in P5, right? Because we had the 2 Mercedes, 2 Ferraris, and then Lando and Max. But I wonder how much the new regulations and the active aerodynamics had a part to play in Max not being able to get
Sure.
past Lando because he also has moving parts on his
Sure.
car as the car in front.
Sure. Well, because there were a few times in the race where you saw there'd be an overtake, and then shortly
Right
after
back.
it would just switch right back.
Sure. That happened
Because
with George Russell
You
and
train right,
Charles Leclerc
right.
at the very beginning of the race. They were kind of trading spots back and forth for a bit. Lindblad as well, I think,
Yes,
experienced
he
that a
had
bit.
some back and forth.
I just
remember
can't get
who,
over how
but
well he did. I'm just
it was
so thrilled.
amazing.
Yeah.
I know, he lost some of that headway, and obviously landed 8 in the end.
Sure.
But I mean, he
He's
was
one
way
position
up
up
there.
and in the points.
Yeah.
First Grand Prix ever.
Yeah. At one
in
point,
Formula
he
One
was
as a
ahead
rookie.
of Hajar.
That's
You
right.
got the brand new Racing Bull in front of the new Red Bull.
Right. Yeah, he had a great
It's
start.
Like, it was unbelievable.
Yeah. Aubrey.
One thing that I really liked in the race is when the commenter said that there was like a Mercedes in between a Ferrari sandwich.
Oh, right. He was the meat in the Ferrari sandwich.
Right.
Ferrari sandwich.
So I think it was Leclerc, George
Hamilton.
Russell in the middle, and then Hamilton
Yeah.
behind was the top 3 for a bit. That was very entertaining. Commentator is the word you were looking for. Commentator.
Commentator.
Like an ordinary potato.
What? In the sandwich.
Right.
What's
And a commentator.
Oh, I get it now.
That's a dad joke.
Well,
right
to
there,
be
for
fair-
sure.
To be fair, like I understand why everyone kept crashing, because like back there we have a picture hung up on the wall of the track, and it looks hard. Like there's a really sharp turn in there.
Yeah.
There is. You're right.
Which, speaking of the track for next week, where are we headed?
You guys know?
Shanghai International Circuit.
Shanghai International Circuit in Shanghai, China. That's right. Let's take a second and jump over to Shanghai, shall we?
Yes.
And go for a ride again in a Formula One car with me. Here's Shanghai, slow and sloppy, because this is a very, very difficult track. Turns 2, 3, and 4 are insane. I've never seen it, but check this out. Okay, here we are again at the Shanghai International Circuit. I'm going to take you for a ride around the track into this final stretch before the start finish. This is a much more difficult track for me and my lack of experience than Australia. We're on this straight into turn 1 here. Nice and slow. Really, really slow corners here. Low downforce right back to the left. Back on the throttle. All the way back around. If you look at that design of the circuit down at the bottom left, you can see it's just a crazy design. And then right back into some slow, hard braking corners. Took that a little wide. Get to get back on the throttle a little bit. Back to the left here. Back to the right. You can see it with the difficulty. Left hand. Get to pick up some speed, pick up this curb all the way around on this outside curb. And then here it is again, another braking zone. Back to the left and real quick back to the right, nice and slow. Back on the throttle here. This is a very, very difficult circuit. I'm even having a hard time following the racing line there. And these nice long straights, hopefully some overtaking, and then right into a right-hand hairpin. Nice and slow, back on the throttle here in this third sector. Back to the left for your final straight there to the start finish. And just all kinds of braking and slow corners. There it was, folks. A lap at Shanghai International Circuit in China. Thanks so much for joining me on that. Hope you enjoyed it.
Welcome to Track Talk with Aubrey
and Bradley.
So this is the Shanghai International Circuit, and we wanted to share some facts about it. So I'll let you go first, Bradley.
So the driver that's won the most circuits here is Lewis Hamilton with 6.
Another Ferrari driver, but he was with Mercedes at the time.
Yep. He's also qualified pole the most on the circuit with 7 times. The track is 5.4 kilometers long, and for our American friends, that's 3.8 miles.
The track was established in 2004, and the shape of the track is based off of the Chinese character Shang, which means up or above. And before we go, I have a joke.
What is it?
Why do F1 drivers meet their goals?
Why?
Because they always stay on track. Back to you, Mom and Dad.
Always informative, right? From the kids.
Yeah.
They know their stuff. Speaking of China, Shanghai International Circuit, we get to see more than one race this weekend.
We do.
It's a sprint weekend, which is good and bad, right? For the drivers, they only get the one practice.
Less practice.
There's
yes.
FP1, and then we get into the sprint qualifying, the sprint race, then the Grand Prix qualifying, and obviously the race on Sunday. If you are in the United States, the times are not favorable.
No.
I think for our time zone, the race is at like 3 a.m.
It's really bad.
So we're gonna have to watch it the next day. But what do you think? How are you feeling about Shanghai? Now that you know what the circuit looks like with that curly Q,
Right.
turn 2, 3, and 4, it's insane. It kind of curves to the right, back to the left. I mean,
Yes.
what are you thinking?
Well, so it does have the really long straight,
Yes,
but
apparently it used to be the longest straight
okay.
in Formula One. And I'm not going to lie, I meant to look up what the longest straight in Formula One is.
But you didn't.
And then now that we're talking about it, I forgot. So if you know what the longest straight in Formula One is, comment below because I forgot to do my homework.
But we were talking about the fact that it's actually kind of difficult to overtake, or at least overtake and sustain it with
Right.
the new power units.
Right.
So even though there is the long straight, I'm not really sure that that is going to play in anyone's favor.
Sure.
Um,
Straight
and-
mode all day long, right?
And so then with all the curves, I mean,
It's a tough one. It's not going to be as fast as Australia.
no,
There's
definitely
some
not.
smaller, shorter sections
Yes.
that are
yes.
quick, but a lot
unfortunately,
of slow, lower downforce corners as
right.
well.
And unfortunately, I think it's going to be one of those races where placement is kind of where
Qualifying.
you finish.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's a bold prediction, I think.
Um,
Right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to say that where you qualify is going to kind of be where you finish the race on this one.
Okay.
But
I know what you're going to say.
What?
Go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to mention, it's less practice, but having the sprint and having the sprint race, that itself obviously is practice
Is
too.
practice,
and
sure.
it might actually be more valuable because it's an actual race.
Rather than just data collection.
Right.
Okay.
So sure, the team misses out on some of that data collection that they would get during practice sessions,
Sure.
but then you get basically a trial run
For
at
your
the
race.
actual race.
Right. Right.
So
With points.
yes. So for fantasy,
Oh, yes. Great.
you got to be careful on sprint weekends.
Yeah, you have to be careful, but also there's an opportunity
Yes.
if you play your, I want to say play your cards right. Really, it's if you play your chips right.
Right.
So,
Which, I was not very happy with my results last week. I didn't do bad.
you
But-
chose the race winner.
Yes.
The problem for you is he qualified so well,
Right.
you didn't have anywhere to go,
No.
right?
Right.
So you took Mercedes as your constructor as
I
well,
did.
right?
Yeah.
As did I. So
Mhm.
that played out nicely. You just happened to you chose George Russell. I think, speaking of cheeky, I think you were being a bit cheeky in the prediction last week, trying to throw me off because you went with Leclerc in your prediction last week,
Sure.
and then you chose George Russell
Yeah. Well,
as your 2 times DRS
it's a
driver.
points game.
It is a
So
points game. You're
just
right.
because, well, and also there's money limitations here. So,
I feel
and
way more
I
difficult
know,
this year too,
yes,
right?
and I know Russell costs more than Leclerc, but whatever. When you're trying to pick your best overall team, you don't
Sure.
necessarily go with the people that you think are actually going to win. Sometimes that's not actually the best, as we saw on my team. I mean, I finished at qualifying, I was top in the league
Right.
after qualifying.
Right.
And then by the end of the race, I was down in fourth because I didn't have Max and I didn't get the 50 points. And if you put the 2 times boost on them, now
Which
you got
I did.
100 points out of them.
I did that. I was very frustrated after qualifying, thinking like, well, there goes my, and maybe not the season, it's round one, but there goes my week for my fantasy team. And then it turned out it was the best thing that could have happened.
Right.
Not necessarily to Max or Red Bull, but anybody that owns Max on their fantasy team, it was fantastic.
Right.
If you put the 2 times chip on them, yeah, that's great. I ended up with 100 points, and I think I moved up into P2 in the fantasy league because I had chosen Max and Mercedes. I think were my two
Right.
heavy hitters there. I had some negatives though, right? I went with Hajar, that didn't pan out,
Yep.
but I also went with Lindblad, and that did,
Right.
right?
Well, and I also had Hajar.
Yes,
I also had Lindblad.
yes,
So very similar teams, actually.
right.
It's just, it was the Max versus Russell. And Max is my favorite,
Sure.
but I usually don't keep him on my team.
Okay.
And even though I predicted Leclerc, like I said, you got to play the long game.
That's right.
And I do change up my team, but I don't want to change it up that drastically because the pricing changes too.
Right. You don't want to lose money.
Right. And so, I'm going to ride with this one for a little bit and see what happens.
Okay. So that being said, I know you don't want to tell me who you're putting on your team this week if you're making any changes.
I might make one.
Okay. I guess before we move on from the fantasy Formula One, you got to feel for anybody that took Piastri, like
Yes.
Bradley.
Yes.
Bradley had Piastri on his team, and I think he chose somehow or another. He chose 4 out of the 5 of his drivers
It was terrible.
either did not start or did not finish
Yes.
the race
And well,
somehow
he
or
had
another.
Cadillac too, I
He
think.
chose Cadillac,
Yeah.
right? Which that was part of his bold prediction from last week. He thought Cadillac was going to
well,
be.
and he went for it. And
He did. Hey,
yeah, bold prediction, and
it's like a
big
high speed
fail.
corner, right? Like a high speed corner, you got to commit,
Yes,
and it's
he
going to
did.
pan out, or you're going to end up in the wall. And Bradley ended up in the wall
He
this
is
past
very
week.
in the wall.
He is, yeah. So
I think he's like negative 45 points.
Yeah, not that he can't come back. It's round
He
one
absolutely can, especially on a sprint weekend.
on a sprint weekend, right? If he plays his chips right, but he chose Piastri, which hurt him badly. However, now I know this is 2026 and not the McLaren of yesteryear.
Right.
Okay. But Piastri won this circuit last year.
Okay.
So something to consider. He had a bad race last week in front of his home crowd, right? He's Australian. An Australian has never won at Albert Park before. He wanted to be the first one, especially coming off the disappointment of not winning the Drivers' Championship last year.
Sure.
I think Piastri might be gunning for it.
He definitely. I was gonna say, I think he's looking right now like the Piastri of the earlier part of 2025,
Correct.
and he's in it.
I think so. Yeah, I think,
I think he's gonna have a
he
really
came-
really strong year.
he came out of his slump right after the slow pit stop swap,
Right.
and he's not
So
letting
no,
Lando buy him.
I don't think that last week will have any bearing on how he does this week.
Right.
I think mentally he's going to still be checked in. New race.
He's in it to win it.
Mhm.
Now, can he run with Mercedes and Ferrari?
That's going to be the question.
That is the question.
I mean, after last week, it doesn't seem like the McLaren car is quite there yet.
Right.
So
Right.
right now, I'm going to say no.
Same.
Um,
I think he's going to have a good week,
hmm
but I don't think it's going to be. I think you're still going to see Mercedes and Ferrari up at the top
Agree.
with Max sprinkled in. I think he's going to
Okay.
be up there.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever happened with that rear axle last week, I suspect is not going to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
And just an experienced
Well,
driver.
I mean, the fact that Hajar made it up there.
So their car
with
is
them.
good.
So the car has the ability.
The car has the ability.
Max has the ability.
The driver, of course, has the ability.
So,
Correct. Yeah.
Agree. I can agree with that.
All right.
Now, is he going to take pole?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's another one of these, like I said last week, like, this is pointless. I'm just going to say Max every week. And obviously that's ridiculous. If I have my choice and it has to be a Mercedes,
hmm
I'm Team Kimmy.
Well, yes. I think Kimmy's great as
Yeah.
well. And I would love to see him win for Mercedes if Mercedes is going to be the winner.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I do think that it's going to be George.
Yeah.
So this week, I'm going with George
All right.
for pole.
George for pole.
For pole.
Race winner as well?
Yes.
You said how you start, how you finish.
I don't. Right.
All right.
Yep.
My podium, I can't decide. My podium
Okay.
is George, Kimmy, or Leclerc, and Max is on the podium this week.
Okay. I mean that's a fair podium, I think. And
Lewis is the wild card there, I think.
I was gonna say because apparently he's had the most wins at this track.
Right.
So
That's what the kids said.
right. And so I mean he could be in the running.
He could be.
I just feel like Leclerc is looking stronger for Ferrari.
Yes.
Yes. Than Hamilton. I mean Hamilton's back up there.
Yep.
You know, he's not having the year he had last year, but I think
Thank goodness
Leclerc's
for
going to
him.
get him if there's going to be a Ferrari up on the podium. I still think it's going to be Leclerc.
I'm with you. So China pole? No, I'm sorry. Sprint
Mm-hmm.
pole
Mm-hmm.
is
Kimmy. Let's go Kimmy for that one.
I like it. I like that. That's a great. I was going to say Kimmy as well. Kimmy qualified pole in the sprint in Miami last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you. Lock it in. Kimmy pole for Mercedes. I don't know who's going to win that race. It's short and.
Do you have like a shock prediction? Like if it weren't to play that way, who would be your? Oh my God.
Hajar.
Okay, I'm gonna go Lindblad.
Oh.
Bet you wish you thought of that one.
Yeah, I do. I'm a little jealous now. Okay.
I
like them both. Hajar or Lindblad. Yeah. That's great. We'll find out on Sunday. No.
Yeah. Well,
sprint. We'll find out Saturday.
We're going to be delayed on all of it.
So we'll get back to everybody. And then, so that's it. We made our predictions. We talked about fantasy.
Yep.
That's it for the Chinese Grand Prix. We'll see everybody next week for Japan.
Yes. Yep.
My birthplace.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm excited. And then, depending on geopolitics and such,
I think it's going to be a long break.
we might have a nice long break. But don't worry. Come and see us. We'll get you something. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be entertaining. It might be the kids talking about the circuits that no one's racing at for the week. Who knows?
Yeah, they could do that.
Right. If you have any good ideas for what we could do on the weeks off, what are we going to miss? Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. And there's some breaks built in anyway.
There were already some breaks. And so when you add it all up together, I think it's like 6 weeks.
Yeah. No one's going to like that.
I'm not happy.
But then after the winter break too, potentially, come back to the United States for Miami.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Beginning of May.
Beginning of May.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Thanks so much, everybody. Glad you were here. I hope you learned something. I hope it was entertaining. And let us know what you think about our predictions and any inaccurate information we may have provided for you. See you guys again next week for Japan. Thanks so much.
Bye. Thank you.